All, welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to talk about Cloud Router, how what it is, how it works, and what are the options we have. So basically, Cloud Router is a distributed and fully managed offering that provides BGP like border, gateway, protocol, speaker, and responder capabilities. And it works with your Cloud Interconnect, Cloud VPN, router appliance to create dynamic routes in VPC network based on BGP received and custom learned routes. So if you want to connect your like VPC network with your on-prem and you are using Cloud Interconnect or Cloud VPN. So if you go to Cloud Router, you will see they have created a Cloud Router. So basically, it manages the BGP sessions. So what will BGP session? It just share like which routes are available in on-prem, which routes are available in your GCP network, and with the help of BGP, it shares all the routes so that your on-prem can reach to GCP and GCP can reach to your on-prem. So it all done via cloud router. So when you create cloud router, so you have to create the BGP sessions also. I will show you how it all works. And cloud router and the Andromeda network virtualization stacks work together. So so basically the cloud router is the control plane. Basically it is the brain of your like all these things which runs. So it runs the BGP sessions, it runs routes from your network and it decides which is the best path to send the traffic. And Andromeda, the data plane, it takes the routing decisions from cloud router. So it will see like which will the routing, how to send the data and which will the best route, and it will execute them at lightning speed and forward the actual data packets. In this diagram, we can see there are two networks. This one is Google Cloud Region A, and this one is also Google Cloud Region A. It can be a on-prem also. It can be your different network like cloud provider like AWS Azure also. So what will happen if you want to connect with these two networks so that they can share traffic between each other? So first of all, you have to create a VPN tunnel, or even you can use interconnect also. That will also work. But in this example, we are taking VPN tunnel. So VPN tunnel is a path. It is a bridge. You can see a bridge has been created. It is a private bridge, so both can like data can move here and there. Suppose this subnet want to reach this subnet. It There is a bridge. He know that there is a bridge. He can go there, but he don't know how like where that specific subnet resides. So what will happen? We will use BGP session. So in the BGP session, what will happen? This cloud router will share all the routes to this router, and this router will share all the routes to this router. So routes means it will tell if you want to reach this network, you have to come by a bridge, and there is the route, and you have like all the path how to reach this, and this router will tell like if you want to reach this network, this is the path. Like this, both will share all the routes and tell the specific path how you have to after crossing the bridge, how you can reach to the specific destination. That's why we use BGP session. The BGP session maintain all the routes from both the side. And in this, we are using two tunnels. To tunnel one, so one both can be active active or it can be active passive also. It depends how you want to create. So basically, whenever you use VPN or cloud interconnect, there is a cloud router. If you have ever used your organization using interconnect or VPN, you can go to cloud router and you can see the configuration of that. In that, you will see all this tunnel thing. So now I will tell you more options. So it has two options, basically dynamic routing options. So when you create a VPC, you have seen there are two options, regional and global. So regional means share routes only for subnet in the region where the cloud router is provisioned. So suppose you have created a cloud router in US Central 1 region, so it will share routes of only US Central 1 region. So it will say to this router, these are the routes, but it will share only US Central 1 routes, but it cannot share another routes like your Mumbai routes, or like Japan routes and any other Africa routes. It will not share only US Central 1 routes. It will share to this router. But if your VPC is global, so it will share routes for all subnets in the VPC. Now suppose you have 20 subnets which are running like custom 20 subnets, and all subnets are in different regions. So what will happen once your cloud router like VPC in global mode, it will share all the routes. So it will say these are my 20 routes. If you want to reach any route, you can just send a traffic. So it is very important when you create your VPC whether you want regional or you want global. And it also depends upon like how your network infrastructure is there, how your architecture is there. Na? So it will all depends on the organization needs. After that, we have route advertisement. So there are two options how we want to like advertise our routes. First one is default. So it will advertise subnets according to the selected routing options. So if you have selected regional, it will share only regional routes. So like your cloud router is in US central one, it will share only US central one routes. But if you have selected global, routing option is global, so it will share all the routes by default. And after that, we are custom. Custom means like you want specific routes only to be shared. So we can use like customized route with subnets and IP ranges to be advertised. Suppose in a region you have 100 routes, you only want that these specific 10 routes can be shared with on-prem. So that way you can use custom. For example, like you want to skip advertising subnets or you want to advertise subnet different BGP session for separation purposes. Even when we create BGP session, so suppose based VPN tunnel 1, VPN tunnel 2. So you create two BGP sessions for each tunnel. Now you want on this tunnel only specific subnet will share and you on this tunnel some specific subnet will share. You can do that option also. So that's the beauty of cloud router. You can like separate which routes will go with. So you can say like this tunnel is for primary or like important data and this tunnel is very low important data. So you can use it for low important data this tunnel and for main data like this tunnel. Even like your you have VLAN attachments. So you have like one VLAN attachment of 10 Gbps and another one is 50 MB or 500 MB, something like this. So the important data can go to on this 10 Gbps and like less important data can go on different tunnel. So that's the options we have. Now let's see what is BGP. We have talking about so much of like BGP. So the BGP is the official routing protocol of the internet. So there are multiple protocols. So for the internet, basically they use BGP. And maybe you, if you are from networking, you have heard about OSPF also. And that is also a protocol, but for the internet, mostly we use BGP only. In this, like different networks, we also know called as autonomous systems share information about which IP address they can reach. They all share their IP address. Like if you want to this specific IP, you how you want to reach. If you do sometimes trace out, you will see so many hopes. So that hopes are coming from that specific BGP only. So they have the routing information and they are going one by one on all the hopes. And one more benefit of that, instead of manually setting up static routes like which is tedious or error prone also, BGP allows a network and Google Cloud network to dynamically learn routes from each other. New routes are discovered and shared automatically. So you don't have to add a route again and again. Suppose if you add one more subnet here, new subnet has been came up, you have created new subnet. So you don't have to log in into your cloud router and go to BGP session or even in cloud router and create a route like I want to advertise new route also. What will happen? BGP will automatically advertise that route to your different network like on-prem or any route, any network which is connected. And this network or this subnet can reach out to that new subnet without an issue. So that's the beauty. It is work dynamically. It will all, and if you remove the network, it will or you can because it's subnet. If you remove the subnet, it will automatically be deleted from BGP. And like as I told, if you add a new subnet, cloud router sends a BGP update message to your on-prem router, so it knows that new network has been added. And even if a VPN tunnel or interconnect connection fails, the BGP session on that link goes down and routes are automatically withdrawn. So if your suppose these tunnels go down, so or your interconnect fails, the BGP session on that link go down and it will withdraw all the like routes from that specific tunnel and traffic then phase two over a redundant path if you are using active passive, so all the traffic will go to a different tunnel. So like this you can do all the configuration. We will see all these things in demo, but it will be a multi-part video. I cannot cover all the things in single. Also after that, autonomous system. Now as we know, like BGP is using autonomous system, but what is autonomous system? So autonomous system is a large independent network with a single or clear administrative authority. So suppose a major internet provider like in India, Airtel and Jio, they have autonomous system. A few tech companies like Google, Microsoft or Amazon must have a autonomous system, and like university or like government institution, they also have a autonomous system. So it is a like independent network. So whenever a company creates an independent network, like even banks have their autonomous system, they will ask like there's a authority and they will provide them that autonomous system number also. So once what is like after autonomous system, there's one more important term, autonomous system number. It will be widely used while using in cloud router also. So basically ASN is a simple unique number assigned to autonomous system. So suppose they will assign a specific number to Airtel, Jio, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, each have their autonomous system number. So when two systems want to establish a BGP session to talk to each other, first they think is to announce their identities using their ASN. Suppose now Airtel and Microsoft want to communicate, so they will tell this is my ASN number. Microsoft told this is my ASN number. So like this, they are able to communicate. So here, if this cloud router wants to communicate with this cloud router, so he will tell this is my ASN number, and it will tell yeah this is my ASN number. After that, they are able to create a connection. So that is very important thing. AS autonomous number and like autonomous system and autonomous system number. So there are two type of ASN, public and private. So public are global unique numbers and assigned by internet authorities like IANA, and they range from 1 to 64511. There is more range. I have just added this range. So basically, if you go to your browser and search for your network provider ASN number, it will show something from this range. And then we have created private ASN also. So because like here, if you want to add or connect to cloud router, you want to use private ASN because you can't have a public ASN. Public ASN is specific for the organization only. You like not everyone can have a public ASN. So you will use private IP address. They are reserved for internal use only. The private range is this 64512 to 65534. So these all things are we will see in our demo. After that, there is a BGP identifier range also. And so BGP identifier means like it is a router ID. So whenever you create a cloud router, you have to provide a BGP identifier range. So it is a cloud router ID. So it will tell, yeah, this is my cloud like my ID. The cloud, this router will told to another router, this is my ID. So this is like identity card. So like each one has identity card. So router has a identity card, and it will unique to each cloud router in your VPC network. Two options like we can assign an explicit BGP identifier range to our cloud router. If we don't, like GCP will provide that range. So unless we have configured like an explicit BGP identifier range, so what will happen? Cloud router might change the automatically generated router ID in the following circumstances. Suppose you added a new BGP session, you remove a BGP session, or you like during periodic maintenance, like your like the cloud router getting restarted. So better to configure an explicit BGP identifier range. After that, we have some more like timers also, like keep alive timer. So what will happen? BGP system exchange keep alive timers to determine whether a link or host has failed or no longer available. So just they are sending some traffic to check whether the other end is active or not, so that they are sure that whether to send a traffic or not. So the default value is 20 seconds, and also Google recommends like we have to set the keep alive timers the same value on on-premise router and the cloud router. So both must have the same value only. After that, there is one more thing, hold timer. So suppose after keep alive timer, your keep alive timer getting failed. So it will wait for 3 times. So if your keep alive timer got failed for 3 times in 60 seconds, it will remove all the routes and it will declare that the BGP session is dead. And it will, if you have multiple sessions, so it will switch to your like passive session, and it will create that session as a primary one. So like this timer tracks the minimum amount of time since the last successful keep alive message was detected. And so as I told you, Cloud Router set this value to the value of his configured keep alive timer multiplied by 3. So it will wait for 60 seconds. This is very old, means keep alive timer is old timer. Now they are using BFD, bidirectional forwarding detection. So it is very advanced. It can like detect like issue in 3 or 4 seconds instead of 60 seconds. But I will cover on later videos. First of all, we have to cover the basic also. So BFD and hold timer. After that, we have graceful restart timer. So this timer tracks the amount of time that a router waits after it receives graceful restart notification like TCP pin or reset packet from other router. So when we establish a new BGP connection or session, each router communicates its own graceful restart timer to the peer. So as we know, Cloud Router also support graceful restart, and Cloud Router timer is one for 120 seconds. So whenever software maintenance event occur, it will send a graceful restart notification to another router, and that router waits for 120 seconds. Like it knows that it is not going to pass any BFD or your timers. So like this keep alive timer will not work, hold timer will not work. It will know for 120 seconds because your cloud router is getting restarted. So when you create a BGP session, these all things between the routers will fixed. Like you have to wait for this time and all that. And even if your on-prem router will also restart, it will also send the same kind of message like graceful restart notification. So cloud router will know, yeah, that the router is getting restarted. Some process is going on. I have to wait. After that, there is a stale part timer. So what will happen after Google, like this setting determines like how long a router waits before deleting learn routes after it receives end of record message from other router. Suppose this router sends a graceful restart notification like for 120 seconds, like I will be back in 120 seconds. We have to set a stale part timer. This option if you want to. So what will happen? Google recommends setting the stale part timer 300 seconds to your on-premise router to match the setting of cloud router. In cloud router, you cannot do this because we don't have option in the console, but on the on-prem router you must set it 300 seconds. So what will happen if your cloud router doesn't come up in 120 seconds, it will wait for 300 seconds, total 5 minutes. If it doesn't get any response from the cloud router, after that it will remove all the routes. And so these are multiple timers you can learn or read the documentation. I know it is a little bit confusing also because this is a very pure networking concept. I will try to cover my best on this because there is so much to think. So this is not the full PPT. There are multiple topics in this. I will start with the basics. After that, we will move to all the higher things. Maybe it will be a 3 or 4 part video. So I'm in my console. So let's start our demo. It will be a long demo. So first, before I start, I will want to show you like this is my first project and this is my second project. And in this, I have one VPC in which I'm going to create the cloud router. This is GCP VPC. And if I click on edit, before I go, I will want to show you something. I want to show like dynamic routing mode in which we have two options, regional and global. As I have shown the same in the PPT also. Like we have two options, regional and global. So we are starting with as of now regional. I will show global also how it works. After that, there is one more thing, best path selection mode. And if you see there are now legacy is that is default. Google say use legacy only. But if you want to try new features, go with standard. Then there are so many options like always compare MED, like multi-exit discriminator, add cost to MED. I will cover this at last, not in this video, but in future videos. So we will using legacy in this video, and I will show both the regional and global in this video. Add click and you can cancel. I have some subnets, only one subnet I think. Yeah, only one subnet is there in this VPC. Nothing much. Let's go to another VPC before I will start. I have named this VPC as on-prem VPC, so it will sound like real, but it is in GCP only. Here also it is regional. Path is legacy. Subnets. There are two subnets. One is in Asia South, one is US Central one. So nothing much. Only basic concept. Let's start. Let's go to cloud router and I will start creating a VPN connection between both of these. So first of all, we need a VPN. At least we need a bridge so that we can use the cloud router. So we will go to VPN and we will click on create VPN connection. And we have two options. HA VPN. It will create two tunnels. This is classic. This will create one tunnel. Use HA VPN in this video. And but this is not like classic VPN. Google said don't use because there's only one tunnel. If this tunnel go down, your traffic will be dropped. And for HA VPN, it will only support BGP. That's why we are using this. And classic VPN supports static routing. Static means like you can type the routes, which routes you want to share. But in dynamic, what will happen? It will automatically learn all the routes. If you add a new subnet, remove a subnet, it will all automatically learn. So we are going with this dynamic routing one. So let's click on continue. Now we have to give a name. So let's give it GCP VPC gateway. After that, you have to select the network, in which network you want to create. I want to create in my first network GCP VPC. The region, as I've told you, like these all things is regional only. So you have to select a region in which you want to create. So let's create in. I'm in India, so I will go with Asia South one. And after that, you have to choose the VPN gateway IP version. You have to, like, you can use IPv4 or you can use IPv6 also. Go with IPv4 only, and just click on create and continue. So it will create a gateway. Gateway means just both sides we have to create a gateway. So let's create the gateway. Meanwhile, it is creating gateway. Let's go to this cloud router also, and here also in the second project we will do the same thing. Just we will create a VPN connection, and we will use HAVPN and click on continue and create. We will give it like on-prem gateway, and network will be on-prem, and let's put the region same Asia South one. Same thing. Just click on create and continue. Let's go back. Now we have option to add VPN tunnels. Tunnels means like it is an encrypted one in which traffic will flow. So like in the diagram I have showed you. So these are the tunnels. So these are the two gateways. Gateway like your bridge foundation we can say on the both side, and which between there will be two tunnels. So these are, suppose these are your gateways, and tunnels means like roads in which traffic will flow. Let's go back. So when you create tunnels, you can see it will already assigned as two public IP address. This is the public IP address on VPN tunnel 0, VPN tunnel 1. Now we have to select what is our peer VPN gateway. Your on-prem or non-Google Cloud. So on-prem can be your a router in a on-prem, or other non-Google Cloud means or AWS Azure. You can create a VPN there also, and you can attach both the networks. But we have the same Google Cloud VPN at gateway only. So it will select says like select the project. We will go here, and it will be in my second project, and it will say tell the VPN gateway name. So this is my gateway on-prem gateway. We will click and continue. So it will asking like create a pair of tunnel or create a single tunnel. So like single tunnel we don't provide HA. So we are going to create a pair of tunnels. And after that, routing option is saying dynamic. So let's go to create a cloud router. Now the main thing is this cloud router which we are going to do. So we will say like GCP VPC cloud router. So we must know where what we are doing. After that, region will be same Asia South one, because we are creating our gateway and also South one Mumbai. After that, it will asking for a ASN. So if you click here also, it will provide some ASN. You can use any private ASN 64512 to 65534, or this more range is also there that we are not using anywhere in our network. As I've also told you, when we create this, it will ask for autonomous system number, basically a unique number. So these are the private range. So we can choose any number which is not being used anywhere in your network. So let's go with 64512. Oh, sorry, 64512. So now we have to select the keep alive interval timer. So this we also talked about. Here it is, keep alive timer. So basically default is 20. So we are not touching this. And after that, we have to select the BGP identifier also. We have talked about this also, BGP identifier, which is like a router ID. So it will ask me that we have to provide a specific IP range. So let's go and let's provide this range only, 169 to 54 0.0/30. So like /30 is at least required. So you can see at least we have a /30 range. So basically what will happen, it will create multiple BGP tasks. So it will assign a specific IP to each BGP task. That's why we need a range. And after that, we have an option. Even if you don't provide, not an issue, Google will automatically assign IPv4 range also. If you don't have, but it will be unique to this router only. After that, we have two options: advertise routes. Whether you want to advertise all the subnets visible to your cloud router, that is the default option, or you want to create custom routes. If you create custom routes, I will come to this later how it works. Let's go with, we want to advertise all the subnets that are visible to cloud router. Just click on create. And after that we have to type the tunnel name also, and all these things we have to fill. So this is our first tunnel, so we can say GCP VPC first tunnel. And after that, this is the IP version, internet key exchange. So you have to provide which version you want to use. It all depends upon your organization needs, and it will ask for a pre-shared key. So when you create a connection, what the like the key you are typing here, you have to type on the other end also. So like it is a kind of authentication. So you can click on generate and copy. So this is if you want a random key. I don't want this key. I will just go with GCP at the rate 123. It looks easy to remember. And after that I will use second tunnel like GCP VPC second tunnel. And after that I will also type the same key here also, but you can type both different key both end, not an issue, but the key will be same on the other end on the on-prem router. Just click on done, click on create and continue. It will create two VPN tunnels for us. Now let's do the same thing here also. So we will select cloud VPN gateway, and we will select our project. The project is our first project. Where is our we have to want to create connection. We will click. Uh, we have to select the VPN gateway name, and after that, pair of tunnels we need. Let's create a cloud router here also. Let's call it on-prem router. After that, ASN number. So before we have provided 64512. Let's go with 64513. Remember, you don't cannot have same ASN number. If you try to do that, it will not work basically. Let's leave this as it, and let's go with this range. Okay, let's make it. So for this, I'm typing this range, and same thing. We click on create. Router has been created. Let's give a name on-prem first tunnel, and the same key I have to provide here also. Otherwise, connection will not work. Now, what I have given there. Click on done, and here I will provide like on-prem second tunnel, and after that, same key again like GCP at that 123, and click on done, and click on create and continue. Now what will happen if you came back here, it has created two VPN tunnels for us, and now it's asking for configure BGP session. So you can see we have two options whether we can do the session create a session right now. Let's do configure BGP session later, and let's first see the configuration how it looks. So we can see after like we added peer VPN gateway, this is our cloud VPN gateway. This is the public IP we have, and this is our peer public IP. So if you come here and let it create the thing, it is creating at the backend. Let's go to VPN, and if you see there is 184, 160, and if you come back here, we will see same thing 160, 184, 173, 207, and 207, 173. So these both IP vice versa talking to each other. But if we come see here, it's a VPN tunnel status it is established. So tunnel is there. So tunnel means the bridge we have created the bridge. Now if we want to share the traffic, so you can understand like this. You have like two cities, Delhi and Mumbai, and you have created a bridge between Delhi and Mumbai. You want to send some item from Mumbai to Delhi, and there is a one person like there is a home or the person you want to send that specific item. So and so what will happen when you send that item, that truck, suppose you are sending via truck will go over the bridge, but he don't know how to reach that person that in specific city in Delhi. So for that we need routes. So you will BGP will share the route. So it will give the proper landmark, everything, how you can reach to that specific person home with the proper address. That's why we need BGP. It will share all the route information. You have a bridge, but you cannot use that until you have the proper route information. That's why now we are going to configure the BGP. So to configure BGP, you can go inside the tunnel also. So now let's go to our first project and start configure BGP session. We will click create BGP session. We have to provide a name again. So let's call GCP VPC first BGP session. Now it is asking peer ASN. Peer ASN, if you remember, we have provided like ASN is autonomous system number. It is a unique ID. What we have provided 64513. We have to provide the same here only 64513. Now it is asking of priority. So what does it mean? So suppose you have two VPN tunnels. You want one is active and one is passive. So you can provide this one is 100, another one is like 200, 300, 400, something like this. So I'm not doing going into MED. It is a different topic. I will cover in next video. So I'm going to give 100 only. After that, we have multi-protocol. If you send enable like send traffic of IPv6 also on the same tunnel, we can do that also. It is a different topic, not covering. After that, we have option allocate BGP IP4 address. Whether you want Google will allocate or you want to manually allocate. Let's go with manually. So it is asking tell IP address. So if you go here, we have to tell one IP address and in the subnet range of /30. So let's go here and let's call it 254.2.1 and let's go here 169. It is asking for peer IP address also. So let's go with 2.2. So 2.1, 2.2. So when you on the other end also you have to provide the same IP address for this specific tunnel. Like that time your IP address you can 2.2 for your cloud router and for peer it will become 2.1. And after that we have authentication also, like I will cover this later. And advertise mode, use cloud router advertisements or you want to create custom routes, I will show you later on this. And priority of all these we can cover when I cover like this topic MED. Let's click on click save and continue. Now do the same thing for here also. Let's click on configure BGP session. We have to give a name. So let's say GCP VPC BGP second session. And PRASN again same thing 64513. Let's provide it 100 only. So both will be active. We will go with manually only. You can go automatic, not an issue. Let's go with 164. Now main thing is that both tunnel cannot have the same IP. For the cloud router, we have to provide different IP. Let's go with 3.1 and let's go here and provide 3.2. All looks good. These advanced option will cover later on. Just click on save and continue. And we can see BGP is down. Before it is showing BGP not configured, now BGP is down. So let's go to other end and done the setting, like configure this also. And we will click on configure BGP session. And let's say on-prem first BGP session, PRASN. Now what will the peer like? If you come back here, you can see like what is our peer BGP session. If you go to cloud router, you can find here that information. So that is 64512. This is our peer from which we want to create a connection. Like type 64512. Like here we have while creating the tunnel, we have added 64513. Now we have to write 64512. 512. Now let's give a priority 100 only. And now manually only. So this time what we'll do, let's provide the range. So this time our address will become 2.2 and our peer is 169, 244, 254, 2.1. So now let's click on save and continue. So we will see our it is configuring our BGP session and soon we will see it will become active. Let's see it is BGP down. It is like trying to communicate. And a few seconds it will become up also. While it is doing the configuration, like doing the communication, let's configure this BGP session also. So let's provide this name on-prem BGP second session. PRASN is same 64512. MED is 100. Manually this time we want to provide 169.254.3.2. Here we want to provide 3.1. Click on save and continue. Now sessions are getting created. Let's wait for it to be configured. Let's go back here. Meanwhile, check here also. What is the condition? We can see one is established, one is still down. Maybe we have done some wrong configuration. Maybe this is also established, this is down. Let's see what have we have gone wrong here. So let's see the IP 254, 2.1, 2.1. Let's go here also. 2.1, everything is looks good to me. Let's wait. So like this, you can get some error also. So we have to figure it out what we have done wrong. So let's click on this tunnel and let's see the settings also. I think something has done wrong. And let's go back to here also. And let's see what are the settings between both the tunnels. Oh, so see, I don't know how it has changed. So we can see the PRASN is changed. That's why yes, 64494 and it is 64512. That's why both are not able to communicate because PR means both must share their correct ID. So I'm sharing a wrong ID. That's why the communication is not going to happen. I will click on edit session and I don't know how to change. I will provide the correct one. So I think PR is 64513 on the first project. Yeah, and we'll click on save and continue. So while you create a cloud router, I think you remember we have provided a ASN that will be the same thing which we have to provide while creating this. So cloud router will able to know like which is this is a unique ID and they are able to think okay the traffic is this is the my neighbor and that will say this is my neighbor I know. That's why we can see now it is established. So as I have told you this thing, hope you remember autonomous system unique ID to assign to autonomous this system and this is our private ASN. So like each cloud router have a like its own ASN. Go to VPN now and we can see we have two tunnels that is properly established and I have enabled the flow logs while creating the VPC. So for checking some logs. Now what we have to do, let's go to cloud router and let's go inside it. You can see there's option to advertise and learn routes. Let's click on this. So advertisement which we are sending, we will select the BGP session and IPv4 only we are using and we will click on view. So you can see we are as of now sending 10.10.0. So if we go to our VPC, this VPC, go to subnets, we can see only we have one subnet and that we are like advertising. And let's go come back. Let's click on learn, like which we are getting from the another router. Let's click on view. We are getting 192.168 1.0. Let's go to our this VPC and we can see we have two routes like two routes here, but we are getting only one. I know you know the reason why we are getting only one. If you don't know, because our route, our like VPC is regional, so it can only get regional routes. It cannot get all the routes. Like this is a different route. It is not regional route. This is in US South, well, Asia South one. This is the US Central one. So if you want this route to be shared also, we have to convert this VPC into global. So let's go here and let's see. Now let's go to this also, and we will just see the same thing. Let's go to our on-prem router and advertise routes. Let's see what we are advertising. We can click any BGP session, it will do the same thing only because we are not doing anything much. This 1.0 range and this is our LAN routes. Click on 10.10.a. This is the we are getting LAN from other end. You can see these communities. You can skip as of now, not much. Like this is a GCP thing only. But if you are using on-prem network, then your network team or you can check about more on this. So this origin and all that, like IBGP or you can say their AS path, all these things come under the picture. I will cover that on later on. I'm not want to create too technical on this. On the best out also we are getting same thing. So if you click on destination, we have two best outs, both at the priority same priority. Next hop address 3.1. This is a BGP IP address which we have given. Hope you remember. And this is the second BGP IP address. Let me try to show you also. So if you go to VPN and you will see 2.1 3.1, this is the BGP IP address. It will send a traffic to these routers. Let's see routes also. Let's go to routes and let's select Asia South Asia South one. If you click on view, we can see we are getting some routes from VPN tunnel. We are getting two routes for 1.0. One is from second tunnel, one for first tunnel. So these routes are only coming in Mumbai region. Let's go to another region. Let's go to US Central one. And let's see whether we are seeing these routes here also. And click on view. You can see only there's no route, something like that. Only one route is there. That is our subnet route. So that's because we are using regional. Once we move to global, it will show in every region. So our network setup is up. Now what's the second thing is, let's create some VMs and try to send traffic and see how it works. So my VMs are ready. So let's me show you something. So this is my one VM in my first project, and here I have two VMs which are in second project. One VM is Mumbai, and one is in your central one, as you can see the zone also. So if we go to our this range router details, and if we go to advertise routes, and if you go to learn advertising, you can click on, let's select the session, any session. We can see only we are advertising one route, that is 1.0, and that is this range. Only Asia South range, this central one is not we are advertising. Now let's go to this VPC, this VM. I am logged into this VM, and if I want to ping like Asia's South one in my second project, I want to ping this IP 192.168.1.3. Let's go to my VM. Here it is, GCP VM1. Let's try to ping it. We can see we are able to communicate because we are getting a route from another VPN connection. That's why we are able to reach it. But let's try to ping this also. This is in US central one, and let's go. Let's try to ping. We can see it is dropping. It is not able to ping. That's confirm that our like routing is working properly, but that is regional. That's why it is not. We are not able to ping. Now let's copy this VM public private IP, and let's go into our on-prem router that is in Mumbai, and let's ping this 10.4. We are able to reach Mumbai between, we have no, don't have any peering anything, just proper VPN connections. Now let's try from US Central also whether we are able to reach or not. No, you can see there is no traffic. We cannot reach. So suppose like this is the all the thing I want to show you how Cloud Router works, how BGP sessions are created. But this is very basic thing. You must know like if you go to your project, you can understand how it will be done. So why they have created these things, and Cloud Router, you can check all the things like like BGP sessions, like which BGP sessions you have created, best routes, what are the best route you have. You select all these things, advertise and learn routes. So now suppose there a requirement came, and someone from your organization told that we want that central this one, this subnet also reach, or all the subnets should reach your another network. So now you have two options, whether create one more VPN connection in each VP, like in each region, that will cost you so much of money. So we can just deny that option. So one other one is thing, you just go to and change the VPC to global. That's the best thing you can do. But before you do this, I want to tell you, if you have more than 250 subnets, better to use like custom routes or do summarization. If you don't know summarization, just check over the internet. Like if you move many subnets, don't just go and click on edit and do the global thing. It can break your cloud router. There's a quota limit. If you exceed the quota, your cloud router will start dropping the traffic. I will cover that thing later on, but I'm just telling you in front because this is a kind of thing which you have to check with your network team. And also before doing this, check how many subnets you have and do all the proper like prerequisites what you are doing to do. So let's do global. For me, it is only one subnet, nothing is going to break. But sometimes I see people just mess it up going from regional to global and it breaks all the things. Then they have to revert it and do some settings, but it will create a very high outage also in your network if there is so much of complex connectivity. So let's click on save. I am doing at global for here. This is the global definition which we have studied before. Like it will share routes for all subnets in the VPC. Now let's go back. It is update successful. So let's first go to our cloud router, and if we see, can we refresh it also? We can see now it is also advertising one more route. Two routes it is advertising 2.0. And what is 2.0? Let's go to our subnets. We can see 2.0 is this. And let's come back to this cloud router. And let's see what are the routes we are getting learned now. Go to this, select any BGP session, and we are seeing we are getting two routes, that 1.0, 2.0. One more thing, let's again go to our BPC and let's go to our routes and let's select our region Asia South 1 and let's click on view. We can see now we are also getting two routes, so 1.0 and 2.0. So now our this specific VM can reach both the VMs on another router or another VPC. And if we are getting but this VP is still regional. Let's see whether any other region also sees these both two routes. Let's go to any region. Let's go to US Center 1 only and let's click on view. What do you think, it will show or not? Because one side is global, one side is regional. Let's click on view. As we know, it will not show because this is still regional. It is not sharing all the route with other subnets or other regions. So if we want the US Central one also see all the routes, we have to make this VPC also global. So let's go to VM. Let's copy this IP now, US Central 1 IP. Let's go to our VM. Last time it is getting failed. You can see it is automatically started to get a ping. So now we are able to ping both 2.3 and I think 1.3. Yeah, 2.3 and 1.3. 2.3 we are getting ping and 1.3 also we are getting ping. Now same from here also. This is my VM IP 10.0.4. So from this VM we are already getting the ping. Mumbai one is able to ping before also, not an issue. As we see, it is pinging fine. But for US Central one, last time it got failed. Now try to ping again. This time it is getting able to ping. So this is the beauty of cloud router, global and regional. So if you create global, all the regions are able to use that VPN gate or cloud router. And if you use regional, only that the cloud router which in which region it has been created, they can able to use. This is the demo I want to show you how cloud router works. This is the first part. The second part I will show you how if you have a VPC peering how it works. Like suppose this is my VPC and there is one more VPC and this VPC got paired with this and will this VPC will able to reach these routes? We will see how it works. Definitely it will reach, but how? After that we will see the MED value, like how we can make one tunnel primary, one is secondary. We will also see multi-protocol BGP, this and MD5 authentication also. This is a very big series on cloud router. I will try to cover everything. Hope you understand this video. If you have any questions, just comment it down. I will try to help you. I will drop my email ID. Drop me a email if you want help. We will try to connect sometime and figure it out your issue if you are facing. Yeah, that's all from this video. Thank you very much for your time.